It is our second semifinal, and one of today's teams will clinch that final spot in our championship round. Will it be the Bulldogs of Portland High School? Or the Yachtsmen from Falmouth High School? Find out next on High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by the Helen and George Ladd Charitable Corporation, the Lincoln and Therese Filene Foundation, Platts Associates, Bernstein Schur, and by
Take a moment and change your life. Join a Maine credit union. At a credit union, you're an owner, and a credit union gives back to its owners. Contact your local Maine credit union. It's your moment. Own it.
Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community. With Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, you get more than a health plan. You get a partner. With benefits built around local needs, they're helping communities across Maine get healthier and happier. Visit harvardpilgrim.org to learn more. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to High School Quiz Show Maine. I'm Shannon Moss. Last week, Greeley defeated Scarborough to move to the championship round. One of today's teams will follow them and hopes to take the $1,000 prize for their school's project graduation and travel to Boston to compete in the High School Quiz Show Interstate Invitational against other quiz show champions from Boston, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Falmouth hopes to make it to the championship match for the second year in a row, but Portland is looking to make this their year for a shot at that trophy. All right, we're going to get things going in just a moment, but first, we would like to meet our players. So we're going to start with Falmouth, and we have Ben, Kerry, Wade, Emma, with alternates, John. They are coached by Michael Casey. And for Portland, we have Jaden, Hal, Cal, Ava, with alternates Jesse and Annie, and they are coached by Erica Lee Winship and Christine Braceras. And today's judges, Angela Absher and Gavin Barber. It's so great to have you both with us today. All right, our competition, we've got 4 rounds. Remember, we've got the toss-up, the head-to-head, the category round, and the lightning round. And we're going to start with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points, and this is the only round where there'll be no point deductions for wrong answers. Players, remember, you must wait for me to complete the question before you buzz in. And if one team answers incorrectly, then the other team will be given a chance to answer. So players, are you ready to get started? Okay. What country in Asia is known as the land of the rising sun? Wade.
Japan.
Japan is correct. In humans, the cerebrum is the largest part of what organ? Ben.
The brain.
Brain is the right answer. The Model T was an automobile built by what company from 1908 until 1927? Ben.
Ford.
Correct. What fictitious nobleman is stronger than 20 men but is rendered powerless by daylight, according to author Bram Stoker? Ben.
Dracula.
That's the answer. According to Nielsen Music's 2017 year-end report, R&B and what alliterative music genre have surpassed rock to become the most popular music genres in the U.S.? Cal.
Hip-hop.
Hip-hop is the answer. What is the capital city of the Canadian province of Quebec? Emma.
Quebec City.
That's the answer. What former slave was one of the greatest inventors in American history, discovering more than 300 uses for peanuts and developing a new method of crop rotation? Ben.
George Washington Carver.
That's the answer. What 5 words follow Elizabeth Barrett Browning's celebrated line, "How do I love thee"? Carrie.
Let me count the ways.
You got it. On May 4th, 1970, Ohio National Guardsmen fired on students during an anti-war protest at what university? Jaden.
Kent State.
Kent State is correct. Okay, we have a video question now if you want to take a look at your monitor.
Hi, I'm Senator Susan Collins. This Rumford, Maine native served both as Maine's governor and as a U.S. Senator before being appointed to Secretary of State under President Jimmy Carter in 1980. He negotiated the release of 52 hostages, effectively ending the Iranian hostage crisis.
Ben.
Muskie.
Muskie is the answer. Ed Muskie, correct. What mustachioed actor and charismatic star of such films as Deliverance and Smokey and the Bandit died in 2018 at the age of 82? Emma.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds is correct. Jonathan Larson based his musical Rent on what tragic opera by Puccini? La Boheme is the answer. The Appalachian Trail extends from Springer Mountain in Georgia to what mountain that's the highest point in Maine? Ben.
Katahdin.
Mount Katahdin is correct. We got a math question for you right now. What is the mean value of 4 neckties that cost $16, $20, $12, and $24? That was just in time. Wade?
18.
18 is the answer. German for air weapon. What was the name of the German Air Force during World War II? Hal?
The Luftwaffe.
Correct. In Einstein's formula, E equals mc squared, what does the letter C represent? Ben?
The speed of light.
Correct. At the 1974 Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Muhammad Ali defeated what world heavyweight champion? Ben?
Foreman.
That's the right answer. Up next, take a look at your monitor because we have a picture question. The highest peak in North America, standing at a whopping 20,310 feet. This mountain was formerly named after President William McKinley from 1917 until 2015, when the U.S. Department of the Interior officially renamed it to its original native Alaskan name. What is that name? Ben?
Denali.
Correct. What 1962 novel ends with Chief Bromden telling the reader, "I've been away a long time"? Carrie?
Catch-22.
That is incorrect. Portland? Do you have an answer? The answer is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. With an elevation of about 7,000 feet, what is the highest state capital in the United States? Emma?
Denver.
That is incorrect. Portland? Cal? Santa Fe is the answer to that question. Okay, in the Harry Potter series, a dark wizard can try to attain immortality by hiding a part of his soul in what powerful object? Wade?
Horcrux.
That's the right answer. What is the derivative of x squared? Emma?
2x.
2x is the answer. What city, located at an elevation of 11,975 feet, is the capital of Tibet? Lhasa is the answer. Ruby and sapphire are composed of corundum, a mineral form of what compound that has the chemical formula Al2O3? Wade?
Aluminum trioxide.
That is incorrect. Portland? It is aluminum oxide is the answer. What beautiful idyllic place is mentioned in the first line of the poem Kubla Khan by Samuel Taylor Coleridge? Carrie?
Shangri-La.
That is incorrect. Portland? Hal?
Kubla.
It's Xanadu is the answer. Named after a valley in Germany, what species coexisted with Homo sapiens in Europe and became extinct about 30,000 years ago? Cal?
Neanderthal.
Correct. And that is the buzzer. So that is the end of round one. Let's take a look at our scores right now. Falmouth has 160 points. Portland has 40 points. Our second semifinal match is underway, and we're going to get a chance to chat with the players when we come back. Stay with us.
Threes are done.
The power is down, but you're not powerless. The mobile app from Safety Insurance can help you file a claim. You can ask an independent agent about safety insurance. We'll help you manage life's storms.
The head-to-head round is next, but I know how much you guys like it when we take a pause and we ask a special question to our students here. So here we go. What one thing drives you crazy about the internet? And Ben from Falmouth, we're going to start with you.
Old people on Facebook.
Oh, he's talking right at me, by the way. It's fine, Ben. I still like you. All right, Carrie, what about you?
I really hate those pop-up ads that come right up when you just found the thing you're looking for.
Yeah, they really get in the way, don't they? Yep. Okay, Wade.
On certain news sites, they only give you, say, 5 free articles before you have to start paying money.
Exactly right. They need to up that. All right, Emma.
I don't like it when trolls write really mean things on posts that just show people trying to live their lives. It's just, I'm not a fan.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that one, Emma. All right, Jaden, what about you?
I don't really like emailing. I would rather just text.
Okay. Hal?
I'm really not a big fan of Minions memes.
You know, someone sent me one of those the other day. I'm not a fan either. All right, Cal.
I just hate how it takes up all my time. Don't have time for anything else.
Right. Our heads are constantly like this. All right, Ava.
I'd have to say YouTube ads that you can't skip.
Yes, good point. All right, great answers, all of you. Coming up next, we have our next round, which is very exciting. Of course, our head-to-head round. So stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Mike Rossmus. We'll go back to High School Quiz Show Maine in just a moment. But first, let's see how you do with this week's Maine's Credit Union's Question of the Week. Producing nearly 2 million gallons of maple syrup last year, which state generates nearly 50% of the country's maple syrup? Is it New York, Maine, or Vermont? Go make some pancakes, and we'll have the answer later in the show.
Okay, we are about to go head-to-head. I've got Portland on my left, I've got Falmouth on my right. Would you guys like to shake hands before we get started? Okay, in this round, you get 10 points for correct answers. But remember, incorrect answers will cost you 10 points. You don't need to wait for me to finish the question before you buzz in. So let's set that clock. Let's get going. Who wrote about her childhood in the American Midwest in Little House on Falmouth?
Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Correct. What Eastern European country has a capital city of Kiev? Falmouth.
Ukraine.
Correct. What does the HW stand for in George H.W. Bush? Herbert Walker. What 3-word Latin phrase means something for something or one thing for another? Quid pro quo. Who was labeled a heretic at an enemy of state under the Edict of Worms in 1521? Martin Luther. Scientists measure how high or low a sound is with what unit abbreviated? Yes, Portland.
Decibels.
Hertz is the answer. What U.S. city has a historic neighborhood called Little Havana? Portland.
Miami.
Correct. Someone who acts as a leader in the Cub Scouts is named after what lead wolf in the Jungle Book? Yes, Falmouth.
Alpha?
It's Aquila. Of all the land battles of the 100 Years' War were fought in what country? Yes, Falmouth.
France.
France is right. What fictional desert planet is the home planet of Luke Skywalker? Yes, Portland.
Tatooine.
Correct. Which planet in the solar system has the fastest revolution around the sun? Falmouth.
Mercury.
That's the answer. How many books make up the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis? Yes, Portland.
8.
7 is the answer. Hydrogen peroxide is a common household disinfectant that has what chemical formula? That is the buzzer. Let's take a look at our score. Falmouth has 190. Portland has 40. Our category round is coming up next, so stay with us, everyone. Next up is the category round with the following choices: Hello Kitty, The Great War, Game Theory, Open Mic, Silicon Valley, and Ciao Italia. All right, each category has 5 questions with increasing point values. So players, remember, you must wait for me to finish the question before you buzz in. You can confer with your teammates, but once you buzz in, you can no longer confer, and we're going to need to know your answers. Now, like in the toss-up round, though, if one team answers incorrectly, the other team will be given a chance to answer. Portland, you're behind by a little bit, so you get to choose first. What category is to your liking?
Can we do the Great War for 10?
We sure can. The Great War. Questions about World War I. This question is for 10 points. On their wedding anniversary, on June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie were assassinated by a Serbian nationalist in what city? Cal.
Sorry.
That's okay. Wait for the buzzer. All right, Ben, Falmouth, go ahead.
Sarajevo.
Sarajevo is the answer. Okay, Falmouth, you have control of the board. Where would you like to go?
The Great War for 15.
We're going to continue on with the Great War. This is for 15 points. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. On July 31st, what country mobilized its armed forces in support of Serbia? Ben.
Russia.
Correct answer. Where would you like to go next?
Great War for 20.
We're going to stick with it. The Great War, this is for 20 points. The single longest battle of World War I began in February 1916 when German forces attacked what small city in eastern France protected by a ring of underground forts? Wade.
Somme.
That is incorrect. Portland? Cal.
Verdun.
That is correct. Portland, you get to choose. Where would you like to go?
Stick with the Great War.
We're going to stick with the Great War. This is for 25 points. The Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1918 was a secret pact between France and Britain to divide control of which of the following areas should the Allies win the war? Central America, the Middle East, or the Far East? Ben.
The Middle East.
The Middle East is the answer. And Falmouth, you have control of the board now.
The Great War for 30.
We're going to wrap up this category, the Great War, and this question is for 30 points. On January 8, 1918, President Woodrow Wilson outlined what proposal for a post-war peace settlement that did not require Germany to pay huge sums in war reparations? Ben.
14 points.
That is correct. Falmouth, what category? We need a new one for you to choose here.
Silicon Valley for 10.
Silicon Valley. This is a new category, and it's questions about computer science. This question is for 10 points. In the early 1980s, what company released the Lisa, the first affordable personal computer to offer a graphical user interface? Ben.
Apple.
Apple's the answer. Where would you like to go?
Stick with it.
We're going to stick with it. Okay, Silicon Valley, this is for 15 points. In 1950, who proposed a test called the imitation game to test a machine's ability to show intelligent behavior indistinguishable from that of a human? Carrie.
Turing.
Turing is the right answer. Alan Turing, correct. Okay, Falmouth, what do you think?
Okay, let's go Hello Kitty for 10.
We're going to change it up. Okay, Hello Kitty. This is a category where questions are about cats in literature. And this is for 10 points. What children's book begins, "The sun did not shine, it was too wet to play, so we sat in the house all that cold, cold, wet day"? Carrie.
The Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat is the right answer. Okay, where would you like to go?
Let's do Hello Kitty for
We're
15.
going to stick with Hello Kitty. This is for 15 points. Dinah is a kitten in Alice Adventures in Wonderland. She's an adult with kittens of her own, though, in what sequel? Carrie.
Through the Looking Glass.
That is the answer. Okay, what would you like next?
Let's do Hello Kitty for 20.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Hello Kitty for 20 points. What ginger-colored, highly intelligent cat belongs to Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter novels? Ben.
Crookshanks.
Crookshanks is the answer. All right, are we going to stick with it?
Yeah, I think we will.
We're going to stick with it. Okay, Hello Kitty for 25 points. "I come, Grey Malkin," a witch says this to her gray cat in the opening scene of what Shakespeare tragedy? Macbeth is the answer. Okay, Falmouth, you still retain control. Do you want to wrap up the category or go somewhere new?
Let's wrap up the category.
We're going to wrap up this category, Hello Kitty. So this question is for 30 points. Who wrote about Mr. Mistopheles and Rumpelteazer in a poetry collection called Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats? T.S. Eliot is the answer to that question. Falmouth, what category would you like to choose next?
Can we go back to Silicon Valley for 20?
We sure can. Okay. Silicon Valley, this question is for 20 points. Which of the following translates a high-level programming language to machine code? Assembler, compiler, or modem? Emma.
Compiler.
Correct. Okay, Falmouth, what do you think?
Let's stick with Silicon Valley.
Let's stick with it. All right, this category, this is for 25 points, this question. The decimal system is also called base 10 because it's based on the number 10. Computer programmers often use the hexadecimal system, which is based on what number? Ben.
16.
16 is the answer. All right, we're going to
Let's
Wrap
finish
this
off the
category up?
yeah.
Okay. Silicon Valley. This wraps up this category. This question is for 30 points. In the 1830s, what English mathematician developed plans for the analytical engine, the forerunner of the modern digital computer? Charles Babbage is the answer to that question. Okay, Falmouth, what category would you like?
Let's go to open mic for 10.
Okay. This category, a new one, questions about famous people named Mike. Okay, so this is for 10 points. What American swimmer is the most decorated Olympian of all times? Hal.
Michael Phelps.
That is correct. Okay, Portland, what do you think? Where do you want to go?
Stick with it.
We're going to stick with it. All right. Everyone likes Mike. Okay, open mic, this is for 15 points. Who worked as a cameraman at Pittsburgh PBS station WQED before going on to star in films like Batman and Spotlight? Ben.
Michael Keaton.
That's correct. Okay, Falmouth, what would you like?
Let's stick with it.
We're going to stick with open mic. This is for 20 points. Who drew on his medical training to write the best-selling science fiction novel Jurassic Park? Cal.
Michael Crichton.
That's correct. Okay. And Portland, we're back to you. Want to stick with the category?
Yes,
I
please.
thought so. Open mic, 25 points. Here's your question. What Grammy-winning Canadian singer is known for hits like Haven't Met You Yet and Feeling Good? Ben.
Michael Bublé.
That's correct. Okay, Falmouth, it's like a tennis match. Falmouth, we're back to you.
Let's finish off the category.
All right, open mic. This wraps up this category. This question is for 30 points. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. This advice for healthy eating comes from what author of the books In Defense of Food and the Omnivore's Dilemma? Michael Pollan is the answer. Okay, Falmouth, what category?
Can we go to game theory for 10?
We sure can. This category is questions about games, and this is for 10 points. In 1904, an anti-capitalist feminist named Lizzie McGee invented the landlord's game to show the tragic effects of land grabbing. Ironically, it's now sold as what board game? Wade.
Monopoly.
Monopoly is the answer. Okay, Falmouth, what would you like next?
Let's stick with the category.
We're going to stick with game theory. This question for 15 points. In 1880, in Worcester, Massachusetts, Justin White invented what game that's similar to 10-pin bowling, but with smaller balls and oblong pins? Jaden.
What is candlepin bowling?
That is correct. Okay, and that's the buzzer. So that ends our category. And our score, let's take a look. Falmouth has 415 points. Portland has 95 points. We have the final round, that is the lightning round, coming up next. And the winner, of course, moves on to the championship match. We'll find out who that is after you see the answer to this week's Maine's Credit Union's Question of the Week.
You've had some time to think. Now let's find out the answer to the Maine's Credit Union's Question of the Week. Producing nearly 2 million gallons of maple syrup last year, which state generates nearly 50% of the country's maple syrup? Is it New York, Maine, or Vermont? The answer is Vermont. New York is second, with Maine third. The Somerset County in Maine produces more than any other county in the U.S.
Okay, we are heading into the final 90 seconds of gameplay. This is the lightning round. Players, you can buzz in at any time. Remember, you get 20 points for correct answers, but incorrect answers will cost you 20 points. So let's set that clock. We got the questions. Let's go. What Brazilian city has the largest population in the southern? Cal.
Rio de Janeiro.
That is incorrect. It's Sao Paulo. What day of the week is considered holy in Islam? Ben.
Saturday.
It is Friday. Heat is measured in quantities of BTU, which stands for what? British Thermal Unit is the answer. Name the author of the short story collection, The Martian Chronicles. Yes, Ben.
Bradbury.
Ray Bradbury is correct. With an elevation of nearly 15,000 feet, what mountain is the highest peak in the lower? Yes, Cal.
Sorry.
It's Mount Whitney. Eons are the largest interval on the geologic timescale. What is the second largest interval? Yes, Jaden.
Era.
That is correct. In 1988, after a nearly 10-year war, the Soviet Union began to withdraw from what Middle Eastern country? Ben.
Afghanistan.
That's the right answer. What 15-year-old student got a D in creative writing while penning The Outsiders? Yes, Emma.
S.E. Hinton.
That's the right answer. What ruler immediately succeeded England's King Charles I? Oliver Cromwell is the answer. What word that begins with the letter X refers to a hatred or fear of foreigners? Yes, Jaden.
Xenophobia.
That's the right answer. In taxonomy, mollusks like snails and slugs belong to what class that means stomach foot? That is the buzzer. It was gastropod, by the way. And our winning team is Falmouth with 455 points. They will be moving on to the championship round. Portland, you guys had a great game. You had 95 points, but you played great all season to get here. It's a huge accomplishment. Thank you so much for being here. We certainly hope to see you back next year. Okay, it's all been leading up to the Maine Championship, so join us next week as Falmouth takes on Greeley to see who becomes our Season 3 champion and heads to Boston to represent Maine in the Interstate Invitational. You will not want to miss this. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time on High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by the Helen and George Ladd Charitable Corporation, the Lincoln and Therese Filene Foundation, Platts Associates, Bernstein Schur, and by
What a moment when you find your way to a new home at your local Maine Credit Union. That'll feel just like home, too, so you can settle in. The home loan you want? It's here. Contact your local Maine Credit Union. It's your moment. Own it.
Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community. With Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, you get more than a health plan. You get a partner. With benefits built around local needs, they're helping communities across Maine get healthier and happier. Visit harvardpilgrim.org to learn more. And by viewers like you. Thank you.